Welcome in, everybody, to the RXFL. We are getting ready for your Monday Night Football battle between the Houston Voyagers, who are desperately clinging on to their playoff opportunity, and the St. Louis Rhinos, who have turned things around as of late. The Voyagers at number 23. The St. Louis Rhinos coming into this one at 6-4, picking up some wins down the stretch. Jim Kelly, Odell Beckham Jr., and this is going to wrap up week number 12 as we're inching closer to the postseason. We just got done filming our Sunday night football game between the Tampa Bay Mutiny and the Memphis Egyptians. You're probably going to see the score scrolling by at the bottom of your screen. If you want to check out all of the action between the Mutiny and the Egyptians, our Sunday night football game is exclusive to patreon.com/TBSports27. $5 gets in the door, so check us out over there. We want to thank, of course, off the top, Mr. Maple and Justin Russell. Thank you guys so much for being mega fan patrons. Mr. Maple, Justin Russell, longtime fans. I know they're going to be checking out the exclusive Sunday night football game between Tampa Bay and Memphis. So if you're watching here on Twitch, we're glad to have you aboard. Hit the subscribe button, or I should say hit the follow button if you're watching here on Twitch. If you're watching along on YouTube, then you can hit the subscribe button and you can hit the thumbs up, help that algorithm out. This is going to be uploaded in 2 parts, so if you're watching live on Twitch, if you're on Twitch, you want to see everything live, that's where you can check us out. You can get both halves of the game, but if you're watching on YouTube, you'll get the first half here today. You will get the second half tomorrow. And usually, I think the time we're going with is 6:27, so that should be our typical upload time here going forward, but check it out. So patreon.com/TBSports27. Follow on Twitch, TB Sports on twitch.tv, and subscribe, thumbs up on YouTube. Follow along on Twitter as well, TB Sports27 on Twitter. This was Patreon Sunday, or at least when we're streaming. I don't know when you'll be watching this on YouTube, but Patreon Sunday. So you got that Tampa Bay Memphis game on our Patreon page right now, so check that out. But there we go, under the lights in St. Louis, not in the dome but outside. They got the new stadium built. Kroenke moved them out, and the Houston Voyagers have been a team that's been full of controversy, kind of up and down all season long. And the main controversy comes, this is Texas, right? They got Troy Aikman on their team. And this is something we've touched on multiple times. And Troy Aikman played all 5 seasons in the Revolution League. He played multiple seasons with Oklahoma City. Then he rounded out his career with St. Louis. Or I should say, yeah, he was Oklahoma City, St. Louis, and I think he went back to Oklahoma City because they did the old trade. Yeah, it was the first 2 years of Oklahoma City, went to St. Louis. So kind of a homecoming here a little bit for Troy Aikman. But here, this team, as you can see their record, 4-6, they're number 23. They have been struggling a little bit, and this is Texas, and the people want to see Troy Aikman play. Well, they have not been going with Troy Aikman. Instead, the man that won the starting job and that's been the starter the whole time is Boomer Esiason. And we're going to see Boomer here again in this ball game. This is Monday Night Football. This is the conclusion of week number 12. Houston and St. Louis, the Rhinos and the Voyagers. And there you see Boomer's numbers, and there's the controversy. I mean, 11 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. People want to see Troy Aikman. People want to see the 3-time Super Bowl champ. The guy that was lighting up the world in the RFL.
He's so meticulous, isn't he? He really is.
We'll see. Will something give in this game? A loss here for the Voyagers puts them at 7 losses on the year, and that's going to make their playoff hopes all that much smaller. Fred Jackson starting things off with the carry, and he'll lose a yard. So, pardon me if my voice doesn't have the oomph behind it. As I said, we just got done filming our Sunday night football game part of the RXFL. There was a beautiful pass from Esiason. And Sammy Watkins, though, on the tackle. Oh, my goodness. He looked okay, and then he pulled something. So he's going down. But this is the second game we filmed, so, you know, we're tearing it up here. We're giving you the content, giving the people what they want. This time McNeil comes in the game for the Voyagers. And the running game thus far for Houston, just that looked like a cramp, right? I mean, he stood up, looked like he was good, and then just cramped and went down. We're also watching, we got the XFL on. The Battlehawks and the Sea Dragons have a pretty important game going on right now in the XFL with playoff positioning here. And then I'm going to be watching the New Orleans Breakers game, the USFL game, right after this stream. Starting at around 6, so a look at your Houston Voyagers here on offense.
Out on the perimeter or going inside.
And it's going to be a 3rd down and long for Esiason and the Voyagers. Boomer. No, that one tossed into double coverage. He was looking for Art Powell, but no dice on that one. Nothing happening.
Something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst,
and in a couple of moments, we're going to see this explosive Rhinos team step out onto the field. St. Louis Rhinos played a number of years in the Revolution League. Part of the management of the Salt Lake City Fury came over, brought the purple and gold with them. And we saw the debut, our streaming debut, just a couple of streams ago of the St. Louis Rhinos and Jim Kelly. And you can see, I mean, when we saw the streaming debut, how about 500 yards of total offense for the St. Louis Rhinos? And when you got Megatron and Odell Beckham and Jim Kelly, I mean, that's to be expected, right? Also in the backfield, I mean, we buried the lead. How about the passing game? You got one of the greatest running backs of all time running the football as well, Eric Dickerson, for the St. Louis Rhinos. The Rhino horn on the helmet.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that.
Julius Peppers on the outside. Dickerson takes it again.
When they are in sync,
a lot of traffic across the middle.
Continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive.
We mentioned this on our Patreon stream between Tampa Bay and Memphis. But let me know if you guys want to hear the commentators. We've had that request before for baseball and hockey, and I'm trying it here for football. Let me know if that's something, because sometimes they'll throw out some tidbits, some stats, some factual stats that we don't get on screen. That was a terrible drop pass. I mean, come on, wide open and just drops the thing.
Right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the
Marcus Ware, Singletary. You got some mean guys. Mel Renfro, Troy Polamalu on this Voyager defense. Both teams in an interesting spot, right? You got the Rhinos, who a couple more wins. I mean, a big win here. You're going to put them. There's Odell Beckham. He drops that one. So 0 for 2 for this high-powered Rhino offense.
And third down is a key down in any game you play, and third down defense.
It's going to be interesting. If the Rhinos can get the win here, they're really going to be in a good playoff spot. Houston the same way. They need this win, because if they take a 7th loss, they're going to be really, trying to crawl out from where they were as far as playoff positioning goes. So a win here puts them in a good spot. A loss for the Rhinos doesn't necessarily kill their season, but it doesn't put them in as good of a spot if they were to get this victory here tonight in St. Louis under the lights. Now, this is Monday Night Football. This is the final game of Week 12. So we are going to be looking at all the scores. We're going to be looking at everything, and we're going to preview Week 13 right after this. And that one is swatted away.
Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings.
Ed Too Tall Jones, Jason Taylor, come on, Jack Lambert, James Harrison.
turnovers. Multiple, in
Some
fact.
mean guys in purple and gold.
Give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question,
And once again, the Voyagers find themselves on a 3rd and long here.
To come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. He's going to float
Down the field. Incomplete. Oh, man. That was pretty perfectly placed, and that was John McKay.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them. They're going to have trouble if they continue to throw
So sloppy play offensively so far to begin this one, this Thanksgiving week here in the RXFL. We stream the two. Maybe that'll be a tradition we do going forward, where we'll stream the Thanksgiving specials as computer games.
61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And
So the second possession here for the St. Louis Rhinos.
We still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a
All day in the pocket, Jim Kelly had, allowing OBJ to run across the field. He just got a new home, did Odell. But here he is in St. Louis. I mean, what a weapon with Jim Kelly, Odell Beckham. Come on. And don't forget, you got Megatron out there too. Odell again. Red hot Odell Beckham. This St. Louis Rhinos team.
The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35
You haven't seen much of them so far, but
so the big play gets them
they could be a sleeper team here in the postseason with this dynamic offense.
They run the counter. Dickerson. And down inside the
1st down for
15,
Dickerson.
shy of the 10. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now, because the offense is on his toes and punching.
High formation, Dickerson has it. Ooh, that's a good stop. Is that Singletary? Can't win with him, can't coach with him, can't do it. That was Mike Singletary.
19 carries,
just get penalized all the way.
He's been a huge part
Play with this one man that's not sold out to be a part of this team. Can't do it.
But the team relies on him. He takes care of the football. He gains yards.
Oh, Jim Kelly looking for Odell Beckham. Pretty well covered by Antonio Cromartie back of the end zone there. Brings up a 3rd and 8.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Kelly.
Incomplete. Andre Rison.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there.
It was well thrown by Jim Kelly, but Rison unable to bring it in. And now Yepremian, who has a couple of Super Bowl trophies himself with the Miami Dolphins. Garo Yepremian puts 3 on the board.
Have a 3-0 lead.
And it's 3-0 Rhinos here over the Voyagers.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot.
Oh, Powell. Man, Powell, Art Powell almost had the outside of the field, almost broke loose there.
And now out comes Houston. They've had it twice. They've punted
Man,
twice.
the Seattle Sea Dragons blowing out the Battlehawks right now. But as you guys saw with the Renegades game earlier, no lead safe in the XFL. Oh, what a spin move. Getting some extra yards right there. Number 82, Otis Taylor.
After the catch, as that winds up going for 38.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch.
And off to Jackson. And this is a big offensive drive.
All the way down to the 13-yard line. Give them 18 on the play. Now,
18 yards for Fred Jackson.
Those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
Giving it to, this time, McNeil. Touchdown Voyagers. And the Houston Voyagers
A great play there.
They get the first touchdown of this Monday night game, and they get their first lead of the game.
And they drew up the counter there.
What a response.
They drew up the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply
Boomer
get the defense
Esiason
moving
continuing to try to
Then
silence the
even one
doubters
step's
here.
enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain.
One direction.
Let your running back finish it off.
Get
and
out
the
of
work
here.
done.
Extra point, Martin Gramatica.
After, right down the middle.
It's
And
through the
that makes it a
uprights. It's good.
7-3 lead.
7-3 Voyagers
So
here.
they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown.
We're waiting for
run.
this Rhinos offense.
This will be fielded at the 6.
And we saw those flashes of brilliance, right? We saw a little bit of it. Still waiting to see a little more.
And out now come the Vikings. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline,
Kelly
after
dropping
chip shot
back.
field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing
And
act,
there's
isn't it?
Odell.
Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points.
All 3 of Jim Kelly's completions have been to Odell Beckham. We haven't seen anything out of Megatron yet today.
When you can get them, not easily done.
They'll run on
Dickerson.
Dickerson.
Man, if he could have cut inside or just a little bit more finesse. There's a lot of running room in front of
Nice
him.
inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Dickerson takes it again. There's your first down for
the
St. Louis Rhinos.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Tremendous
That
blocking by
boss.
the interior of the offensive
I've seen
line.
a
They didn't just
Subway
gash them,
commercial
but they
here.
blasted it,
The Subway used to be all
gaping
about
hole
like
for
healthy,
them to
healthy,
go.
healthy,
They can
right?
just back to the huddle
That
better,
boss sandwich
give
looks
them a
so
whole
unhealthy.
lot of credit.
Meatball,
Taking them
pepperoni,
space to run.
marinara sauce. Like,
Here's
oh my
Kelly.
goodness. Oh, Jim
Pressure
Kelly.
now, and they get to Kelly.
Julius Peppers. O-line could not hold his man. Peppers got through Kelly. He tried to step out of the pocket and went right into Julius Peppers. There's a dream matchup right there. Peppers versus Jim Kelly, right?
Uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some
Hey, the
terrific
Mets are
athletes
calling up
who are
Brett
trying to put
Beatty.
him
We
on the
remember
ground.
him from
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back
our
after the sack. Second and 19.
Tom Brady, right? Wasn't Brett Beatty on like the guy that was always behind Brady? Well, Jim Kelly, I don't think Kelly wanted to run it, but nobody was open.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his
So he
own,
just
but it will
kind
leave
of
him
barrels
now with a
forward
third
and gets
down
4.
situation. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, it's Kelly. He's going to fire one deep over.
Oh my goodness, Andre Rison, that's the second time that Rison's had the football and let it go, and I think we're starting to see a little bit now, surprisingly, but we're starting to kind of see why this Rhinos team, while they have such a dynamic offense, and we haven't seen them streamed much here this season, but we're starting to see maybe why they don't have more than 6 wins on the year. While we saw the explosiveness a couple of streams ago, you're seeing those struggles. And this is why they haven't been a top-tier team.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that's going to be incomplete.
And Boomer Esiason, the calls, I mean, they're not in Houston, so that might help, but the calls for Troy Aikman are going to continue to get louder and louder if these plays struggle on offense here. So McNeil will pick up the first down, and that should wrap up quarter number 1 here between the Houston Voyagers and the St. Louis Rhinos. We will enter the second quarter. Low-scoring game, as we just got done with our Sunday night game that was extremely high-scoring. And if you want to check that out, if you want to check out a potential championship team, you can do that. Patreon.com/TVSports27. Our Sunday night games, our Sunday night package, almost like, you know, the Thursday night football. NFL has the Thursday night Amazon package, right? Well, for us here, our package is our Sunday night package, and that is for our patrons.
I can just tell
do
you,
check that out.
does set in for a defense because
Boomer. There's going to be a completed pass to Taylor, his second grab of this game.
Some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible.
Lined up with McNeil again in the backfield. There's the give to McNeil, and he doesn't get very far. He gets brought down.
That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So on 3rd and 1, they lose yardage there, and St. Louis will pick it back up.
Counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And that one will roll into the end zone. We got some folks joining us in the chat. I don't know if it's just me or if it's Twitch. If you just chatted, I didn't see it because I have my roster sheet open. And when I went over to Twitch, the message isn't there. I feel like that's been happening a lot lately.
And that's not going to get it done.
So early on here in the first half, Dickerson gets the carry up the middle.
Not having balls go through goalposts.
44 yards rushing so far in this one.
It'll be 2nd down. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Jim Kelly taking this one from the gun. Dickerson back there with them. And they are going to elect to throw it here. Kelly to Odell Beckham. That connection continuing here. All 4 receptions for the St. Louis Rhinos have been to Odell Beckham.
Now a 1st down throw.
And that one knocked away by Singletary. Mike Singletary's had some big moments in this ball game so far.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50%.
Voyager's making it tough right now on Jim Kelly. Dickerson. Look at Eric Dickerson. Hits the spin move. 1st down, and Dickerson doing a lot on the ground right now. As expected, 60 yards so far.
A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast and in the open field, but man, his first step is so
We got Lava Man joining us. Welcome, Lava Man. He says, what are you going to stream next? My goodness, what am I going to stream next? I don't know. I don't have any ideas. Throw out some ideas, Lava Man. I haven't even thought about it. Next streaming day will probably be on Tuesday. I don't have any ideas right now. Maybe Universe, WWE 2K Universe. That's always a popular one. That always gets a lot of views, a lot of hits on YouTube.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job.
Passing game's been a little skittish so far for the St. Louis Rhinos, but the rushing game doing quite well. And there's the first man that's not Odell Beckham to make a catch for the St. Louis Rhinos. Are you watching any of the XFL or USFL games, Lava Man? Are you checking the NBA playoff games? Kelly, Hooper, back-to-back.
And he gets this one inside the 15.
No, I did not buy 2K23. I did not think there was enough of a difference between 2K23 and 2K22 to justify paying $60, $70 for 2K23. I've been seeing a lot of not so good things too about 2K23, where it's kind of, as they say, more of the same. And really the only changes they made was they added War Games, which is cool. The roster changed, and they added like WCW into my GM mode. Other than that, it's, from what everything that I've heard and seen, is basically the same game. So no, we're still on 2K22 because of that. But we always mention that if folks want to see us get the latest and greatest, the newest game, patreon.com/TVSports27 is a great way where you can help out. We also have a couple of different links here, a Ko-Fi link and things like that on YouTube, and you can check out that on the About page under the tips. You can click on that here on Twitch, and it brings you to the Ko-Fi link. Touchdown! There's Calvin Johnson. What do you think about it, Lava Man? Do you feel like it's worth I don't know if you had 2K22, but if you went from 2K22 to 2K23, do you think that that is worth the money? Do you think there's enough new things to justify? I guess for me, I'm very picky. Like, if I'm spending this much on a brand new game, it's got to be something that's, like, completely different than, you know, or it's got to be something that I waited. For example, the new Zelda that's coming out. It's been, what, 5-6 years since the last Zelda? So there's anticipation, but if you're doing a yearly release, there's got to be something big to make it feel like it's worth my money. So usually, I've mentioned this on a number of streams, but my usual purchase schedule is usually every 5 to 6 years. I feel like I'm justifying putting my $60 to $70 in getting a brand new game because it feels like a new game if I wait 5 to 6 years in between versus getting it every year. Lava Man says it's pretty different from 22. How so? Tell me what makes a difference, because from what I've seen, the little bit that I've seen, and from what I've heard, I'm on the WWE Reddit page, of course. I'm on there, WWE Games Reddit page. But from what I've heard and what I've seen, there's not too much of a difference. But let me know, what has been the big differences that you've noticed in going from 2K22 to 2K23. Showcase is great. Well, see, there's one that's for me, unfortunately, is not really going to appeal. I've been doing showcase mode this go around, which that's something I can maybe stream, because they put unlockables. They kind of forced you to play showcase in My Rise, but they put unlockables behind it. But I've never been a big fan of showcase mode because it's kind of like a... I don't want to just rag on the game, but almost like a paint by numbers kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because you have to do all these objectives. You have to, like, you can't go outside the box. You know, even this one, I mean, it's kind of cool because it's matches like against John Cena. So instead of you being John Cena, you're trying to beat John Cena, but it's still matches that it would have been interesting, I think, if they picked like historical matches that he won and that you were the opponents for. But instead, it was matches that he already lost, so you're not really seeing anything different. But think about like the famous, like WrestleMania 21, the match against JBL. What if you got to be JBL? Or, I mean, just think about all the different famous John Cena matches. You know, I'm trying to think like different WrestleManias. You know, WrestleMania against Triple H. What if you took control of Triple H? Oh, Eric Dickerson. He may go to the house on this one. He outruns Troy Polamalu, outruns Mike Singletary. Touchdown, Rhinos.
Great effort there. 81 yards. And the Vikings get the...
That is true. Lava Man mentions about universe mode being better. That is something in your experience I'd like to hear, because I've been kind of torn. I kind of like the randomness of universe mode where the game kind of hits you with random cutscenes. I do like the idea of this game having, of 2K23 having where you can select cutscenes, because there are times when I would like to do that. But I wish we could have both. I wish we could have the random cutscenes, or at least an option where the game could do random cutscenes, but then you can also select certain cutscenes if you want. Because I've been hearing a lot about that too, that the randomness of Universe, which is something I liked from playing Universe on WWE 12, which we still have WWE 12. If I can ever get my capture card working, that is something we can potentially stream again if you would like to see WWE 12 Universe again one day. But that is something that... Oh, McNeil is going to answer Dickerson's big run with a big run of his own. Touchdown, Voyagers. We got a big game on our hands while we're talking about 2K23.
A big play there.
But all that to be said, just to put a button on the discussion, I would like if you could have both, where you can select universe mode cutscenes, but then there's also the random universe mode cutscenes. I'd like both instead of just one or the other, if that makes sense.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
GM mode is something from 2K22 we've talked about doing for quite some time. We were doing My Rise mode over on Patreon, but unfortunately the women's My Rise won't get past the first loading screen. That was a complete disaster of a stream, so we couldn't do much more with that, unfortunately.
Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
Kelly. Nice grab by Beckham.
Taken in here to start this drive. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
So maybe, like I said, maybe that's something 2K24, 2K25. That's something that they can keep improving on.
This quarterback now,
but that might warrant my next purchase.
From the gun, Kelly.
Here's Andre Rison. He had a couple of drops early on, but he comes through with that grab.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's
all of a sudden the offenses on both sides picking up St. Louis and Houston.
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had
the Houston Gamblers played today against the Michigan Panthers. The Houston Roughnecks as well. Houston in spring football becoming a big thing. Kelly. Rison. Now, did he get both feet down is going to be the question. They're going to say no. I don't know. Dean Blandino, you want to offer your 2 cents?
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10, Jim Kelly. Megatron. I don't think he's going to get enough for the first down. 4th and 1.
If that. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation.
But you know what? You got Eric Dickerson back there.
And he was fighting like he really
Rhinos are going to go for it.
Didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free.
And they get it.
And he gets this down to the 18.
Timeout called by the Rhinos.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
This is a big couple of plays right here for St. Louis. The difference between a touchdown and a field goal. Jim Kelly just waited. Touchdown, Hooper.
Touchdown, Vikings.
Austin Hooper, who's had a couple of nice grabs here.
And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make
Boomer
plays,
Esiason, he's got some work to do.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown.
Again, coming up here, especially Lava Man watching on Twitch, we're going to stop this stream as soon as we get to the end of the first half, because we're going to upload this in 2 parts on YouTube. But do come back, because we are going to start stream number 2 in just a couple of minutes. For those of you watching on YouTube, tomorrow it's going to be the second half. And we're going to see, can the Rhinos keep this up under the lights? Or is it going to be the Voyagers that come back, have the second half come back? The Boomer Esiason continuing to try to silence the doubters. And then we are also going to be looking at all the scores from Week 12, and we're going to preview Week 13. So you'll want to be on the lookout for that. Esiason finds Taylor. Timeout not called just yet. Trying to hang on to their 3 timeouts. Play fake, Boomer. Going deep. Intercepted. Well, what do you guys think? That's going to put him at 14 interceptions.
And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line.
Pick, baby, all day. Don't throw this way.
That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run at a time?
Man, Paul Cruz.
And
now it's going to be interesting for the Rhinos. At least getting a field goal range, and with this dynamic offense, you would think they have an opportunity to do so. They're going to go single coverage to Megatron, and it's intercepted. Antonio Cromartie.
Picked off at the 13.
How about this turn of events the last couple of minutes?
Back at the closing stages of the first half. Johnson was the
oh my goodness. Well, now you got a shot here for the Voyagers to get into field goal range with all their timeouts.
One play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will.
And it's intercepted. Oh, my God. Just ended. 3 interceptions in a row. Desmond Trufant gets the INT. I mean, these quarterbacks, they're playing the single coverage game one-on-one, but these corners are winning out. And it looks like it's going to be a quarterback kneel down. So we're going to take a pause here. We'll let you see the halftime stats. If you're watching on Twitch, we're going to be back in a matter of minutes with the second half. If you're watching on YouTube, the second half comes your way tomorrow.
That's what you usually run in this situation.
Is this Boomer Esiason's last run, or is it going to be the St. Louis Rhinos? They're all lit up down on the right side of the scoreboard there. We'll see what happens tomorrow, second half.
The NFL.